Welcome everyone. We are going to be jumping into Intense's and Psistorm Gaming's owner KJ Freedom's first match. Sorry for the massive delay in the stream, just had a little bit of confusion. Some of the matches play already, which is not a problem. We'll go show the bracket here and let me just fix the camera a little bit. Let me jump into game for these gentlemen. Once I get it in, then I will entering the lobby, so it's going to take quite a second. Thanks everyone so far for tuning in. Whew. So just to let you guys know, I am streaming from my room, which is currently, I don't know if you could read that, almost 100 degrees. That is true StarCraft passion right there. 100 freaking degrees in my room right now. California, man. California. So we are setting up for the first match. This is a best of one up until you get into the semifinals and finals, and that become a best of three and then a best of five. Starting out as a best of one, so it's going to change the game up just a little bit. When players do that, or excuse me, when you do best of ones, it's just like on ladders. You might do a little bit more cheesing, less strategy, a little bit more cheese possibility. I definitely experienced it with my first rounds. I played against a guy that 10 pulled in a tournament, and it's like, well then, that's guess how we're gonna play it. So they're deciding on the map right now. They're deciding on the races. Intense is one of our pro players. He's generally a grandmaster. So he's deciding if he wants to go random or actually play his main, which is Terran. It looks like he's just going to go random, which is going to help against KJ because KJ is going to play his main. So it should, the chances. Oh, Intense is going to Zerg. This should be interesting. So Intense is normally a GM player with Terran, so he's actually deciding to go Zerg this time. So is going to be quite interesting. The map that we're going to be loading in, let's jump right into it, is going to be Coda. There's no camera, so you guys don't have to see my lovely face anymore. So this first map is Coda. This is only a 2-spawn map. It's a very awesome map. I love how it's done really well. Your second base is easy to take. Your third base is kind of easy to take, but, you know, let's not get into that. Just going to start this match. So, spawning in our bottom right position, it is our normally Terran. This time he's going to be playing Zerg. It is our blue Zerg player from Psistorm Gaming. It is Intense. And spawning in our top left position, it is none other than our fearless leader and the purple Zerg from Psistorm Gaming. It is Freedom with 3 E's. So far we have a very standard opening from both players. Nothing, like I said, it is best of one, so it might actually be, they might actually cheese, but so far they're not doing anything of the sort. Oh, so far, it's so far a pretty mirrored build. 3 drones, nothing too fancy, nothing yet. I'm sorry to say I don't have any cool, let's see. Ah, there we go. I was like, I don't have any cool little doohickeys on this default observer screen, but so like I said before, this is map Coda. You got the spawn right here. Your natural is a pretty easily defended base. Your third is slightly a little bit harder to defend. You got a huge ramp here, a bigger ramp over there. Both players have the same thing, so we'll see what they do. We do see Intense going spawning pool before hatchery, which is not too uncommon, especially when you're playing against a Zerg player. You almost want to go pool before hatch, just to have some defensive units, get a queen out, a couple spines maybe. As we see, Freedom, who is very known in the Zerg play, goes pool first. So as we can see, it is so freaking hot. Almost 100 degrees. So, Dean. I don't know who Dean is, but Dean, Freedom wants to know if the stream's working, and to tell him. A little shout out to Dean. So, we do see, like, this is a mirrored matchup so far, because both players, so Freedom has definitely been helping other Zerg players in the clan with just certain builds and stuff. So you could tell Intense has been researching Freedom's build a lot more. So we do see a mirrored build so far. We do see hatcheries being built. We do see queens being morphed in. We do see an extractor going down for Intense. That means he's going to get gas before Freedom, which is not necessarily an issue. We'll see if he goes into speeding play, maybe jumps into roaches. We'll see about that. Again, nothing too fancy is going down so far. The queen is going to be done for Intense before Freedom's, but not too much for. He does get an inject in, does throw some gas in. We finally see Freedom with his extractor, so that means his gas is going to be delayed significantly more than Intense's, which again, nothing too bad. Nothing too bad. So far, no real builds that determine if they're going to speedlings or roaches or nothing yet. Okie dokie here. So we see some lings going across the map just from some scout, thing. So we do see Melodical Boost going down from Intense. That means he is going to get speed. He's going to get here in the next 60 seconds. We do see more. We do see this nice little wall from these 3 queens from Freedom. He definitely knows how to defend, especially against this attack that's coming right now. If he sees speedlings going across the map, he knows there is. He knows he's going to defend. He's got 3 queens up. I swear I was hearing things. Oh, the game sounds. I was like, where is this noise coming from? So we do see speed about to finish for Intense, and we don't see anything, no lings yet on the map. We do see a ling from Freedom going across. He is going to scout this. He does get the scout off on that Bane thing, on that Baneling nest, so he's going to know Banes are coming, so he's got to know speed's in the works. He needs to kill off that Zergling before he does any more type of scouting. Freedom sees that Intense is only on 3 bases, so we do see more drones. So Intense is droning behind this, so is KJ. KJ Freedom actually is going for the Witchwarren, which is going to be really good, especially if Intense fully commits into this Bane bust. I don't know how much Intense is going to do. He doesn't have that many lings on the map. He only, let's see, what is units? He's only got 2 lings on the map. That's not really going to do much, especially if he's going to Bane bust against this. We're going to try to Bane bust it, but we'll see. We do see more gas going down from Intense. He actually has 4 gas at the moment, so he's going to be banking on this gas. You do see lings going across the map for Intense. We do see the view. We do see him going across the map. It is going to be scouted by KJ. KJ has great overload positioning, so unfortunately for Intense, he's not going to do much against this. We have 4 roaches plus a couple queens. Intense is not going to be able to bust against that. There, look at that. There's 9 roaches right there waiting for Intense. Intense is just has his Banes. That's just great. But Freedom sees all this. Freedom at least saw the army coming. So we do see 2 Banes. That's nothing. That's not going to do anything against this extremely well built wall here for Freedom. So more speedlings running across the map. Nothing yet. Let's see if there's anything in production. We do see a Spire going down from Intense. So he's trying to bait out as many roaches as he can to get and Freedom to really invest into these roaches. We do see the lings coming across. They do not want to fight that at all. Those roaches are just going to annihilate them. Intense is that's where that bank came into play. So Intense really sneakily got that Spire. That Spire is down, hasn't been scouted yet, and with that Spire, he's able to start just load in these mutas. He makes 7 mutas behind this. He does send his army in again. He's just trying to overcommit, get Freedom to overcommit. He's going to take out all those queens. Those queens are actually what's going to stop the mutas from coming in. If Freedom's actually really smart, he might understand why the Zerglings have been focusing on the queens. He took down all the anti-air, so when these mutas pop, there's going to be nothing going to be able to stop. Freedom's not going to be able to stop these mutas once they come across the map. The mutas are coming now. They're going to get scouted by Freedom if they fly into the wrong direction. Freedom's vision is very low, surprisingly enough. He's got 0 queens, he's got some in the works, but these mutas are going to come up, and now he sees them. Now he sees this huge flock of mutas, and Unfortunately for Intense, he's focusing down the roaches. He shouldn't be. He should be flying into his base. He should be doing as much harassment to the economy as possible. He's going to try to stop this army from going across, which is great, but that gives him time to put in the spore colonies that we see that's going to counter these mutas. So, unfortunately for Intense, he should have went straight for the economy, and so he did weaken out these roaches a little bit. So he should be able to clean this up, no problem. Those lings are going to clean that up, no problem. But now the mutas are, unfortunately for Intense, those mutas are no longer a surprise, and he was in a great position to win the match, but unfortunately focus on those roaches, which he kind of needed to do because they're about to wreck his base. But now we have Spielings, Banes, and mutas going against Freedom's Roach army. But we'll see what he's able to do. The mutas aren't going to do much. They might start trying to pick off. Excuse me, I was sneezing. They might try to pick off overlords from Freedom, just try to get them supply blocked. But we'll see he's able to do. There's a lot of spores down. There's another one popping down. So he gets on top of this roach army. He's just going to try to stop as much of his anti-air as possible. We'll see if what these lings are going to be able to do to this army. There's mutas and lings and banes do a couple good hits, nothing to weaken them down a little bit. However, the mutas, is going to clean this up a little bit, but Freedom's just really good in this control. We do see more roaches going down from Freedom, as well as spore colonies, or spore crawlers. And unfortunately, those mutas aren't going to be able to do much anymore. He's going to maybe try to, run into this base, get some harassment going, but Freedom has just reacted to that really well. Got the good number of spore crawlers to counteract all these mutas, but there's still more mutas on top of this, and Intense really needs to start doing damage with these mutas, because unfortunately for him, he's not really doing much. He's trying to contain Freedom a little bit, which he has him kind of, because we do see Intense taking his fourth, and Freedom has no chance of taking his fourth at this moment with not this many mutas and Spielings running around. Spielings are running to the base, going to try to bait out those roaches. We're going to see this huge flock of mutas coming into this base. He should focus down that spore colony. He's going to go after the gases. Nothing in the gas. Goes after that spore colony. He's going to be able to get it. He's going to focus on the queen as well. He should be able to snipe this lair if, before anything goes after the spore colony. He might try to get Freedom supply capped here, which is going to be, it's really, annoying getting supply capped. We do see Intense trying to counter this as well with sending Spielings around again for just more harassment. These mutas are sadly doing nothing. There they go. They're going to focus on the lair, but that's not what they need to do. They need to do better damage, and so he runs away. He's going to try to go after these roaches, and again, he really just keeps getting pulled away from these roaches. This Freedom's roaches count is huge, and he's going to try to stop him with these lings. So the Spieling's going to try to come off, and Freedom's going to go after Intense's third base. We'll see if he's able to get him. He burrows it. What a great idea. He's burrow half his roach army is going to go up this ramp. It's not going to be scouted. I don't know if Intense realizes that there's roaches. That's going to be roaches attacking his base right now. He is going to go. It looks like he's going to a greater spire. These roaches are going to focus that down though. I don't know where Intense's mutas are at. Did he lose all his mutas? No, he's got. Where's his 28 mutas? Oh, he's focusing on the roaches. They're focusing down that the greater spire, and that's going to get caught right now. That's going to get stopped right before he's. There goes his muta count. There goes his. Pretty much was keeping him in the game. He does chase down the rest of Freedom's army a little bit, but Freedom was able to, bank off of this and get even more roaches out on the field. He needs to start that. He needs to start a new spire, get the greater spire out. But that's just a huge muta count that I don't know if Freedom's going to be able to deal with. So Intense needs to send those mutas across the map and actually start doing stuff. We do see Intense's third base get completely demolished. The hatchery's still there, but he lost all his workers. So he's going to have time to need time to rebuild that. These roaches are going to cross the map. They're going to run into that muta ball. It's not going to do much. They do burrow, but it's not going to do much as well because there's overseers on top of it. They're going to split them around a little bit. That's actually really good. Really good. Just splitting around, split the army up a little bit. So we do see, Lings are in this is kind of getting kind of harassment, and we do see Mutas going to cross the map here. They're going to run into a lot of anti-air, which they just need to focus it down just like that. Focuses down the two more. He just needs to go for it. He needs to go after the first one, go after the second one, and then stop that base. Once he gets Freedom onto two bases, it's going to be lights out for Freedom. I don't think Freedom is going to be able to come back from this. There's just too many Mutas to deal with. He's been injured too many times. We do see the Roach is going to cross the map again, and Intense goes after it again. He needs to do more economical damage. He's not doing enough with these Mutas. He keeps having to come back to stop these Roach army from going after this base, and that's just buying Freedom more time with this attack. We do see Roaches trying to sneak in, Overseers on top of it. The Lings are going to be able to get it. Mutas clean up the Roaches as well. They go into the second base. Intense needs to be able to react accordingly, but there we go. And so I don't know what Freedom's going to be able to do. He's only on 15 drones right now. Unfortunately for Freedom, that is not enough. Freedom has, as you can see, that economy of like 600 minerals a minute. It's nothing compared to Intense's almost triple that. So we do see these Roaches getting caught again, and just slowly dwindling Freedom's army away. Do you see these 4 Roaches going to try to sneak around? They're not going to be able to do much. Another Muta Ball coming in. They're going to focus down the Spore Colony, or excuse me, Spore Crawler, and just try to snipe it away. But again, he needs to do more. He's like attacking the Roaches, which is not going to do much. He needs to get in these bases and do some damage. Intense does get Infestors out, but it's those Roaches are just picking them off. He's going after the Evolution Chamber, which again, not too sure why he's doing that. They're not cooking anything. They're not researching anything. You don't lose the upgrades once you kill it. He's gonna focus the first Queen, go Spore Colony again. And that should be GG coming from Freedom. Freedom's not gonna be able to recover from this, and Intense beats Freedom. And the ZVZ, surprisingly enough, Intense showing really amazing skill with the ZVZ matchup. That was interesting play from both Freedom and Intense. Intense went with the Mutas. Didn't harass as much as I thought he was going to, which is fine. He doesn't have to do it. He's the player. I feel like he could have done a lot more with it, but in the end he was able to focus down those Roaches and stop any kind of attack that was coming from Freedom. He did lose his third base there a little bit, but he had a fourth base to fall back on, so Intense was always ahead. Surprisingly enough, that was an amazing play by one of our pro players. Normally he plays Terran, but not today. He played very well against a ZVZ, so that was pretty interesting. So we'll see what match we have next, and we might throw it to a small break. Let's see what we could do. I don't want to put on music because I don't want this to get muted. But let's see. I'm going to try to put on music and hopefully it doesn't get muted. But we are going to throw it to a quick break, quick commercial break.